Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone. We'll begin our Srimad Bhagvatam Bhakti class with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Tubhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are on Canto 1, Chapter 7, Son of Drona Punished. So this is a third section of Bhagavatam, which we are starting, first canto, third section. So first section of this first canto comprises of first 3 chapters, in which the first 6 questions of sages are answered by Suta Goswami. Then the second section starts from 4th chapter to 7.11, where the history of Bhagavatam is described. And from 7.12 verse onwards, the activities of Parikshit Maharaj are described. So that is what we are discussing. So we'll continue from the 12th verse. So in this 7th chapter, Narad Muni, at the end of the 6th chapter, he told Vyasdev that you please write Bhagavatam, write the glories of the Lord. And based on that, Vyasdev, he entered into meditation, because that's what Narad Muni had told him in the 31st verse, I think, of the 5th chapter. You please meditate and describe the glories of the Supreme Lord. So he saw 3 things. Anybody remembers the 3 things which Vyasdev saw in his meditation? Sorry. Saw the suffering of the living entities. No, before that, so first of all, he saw the Supreme Lord. He saw the Supreme Lord.
Maya.
He saw Maya. And then after that, he saw the suffering of the living entities. And then third thing is, he saw the treatment for that. So ya sammohito jivo trigunam trigunatmakam paropi anutenartham tatkritam chapi padyate. And then anartha upasamam shakshat bhakti yogam adhokshaje. So only by the practice of devotional service one can come out of this. But people in general, they do not know. Lokasya ajanato vidwan chakre satvat samhitam. So therefore Vyasdev, he described this Bhagavatam. So Shaunakadi rishis, and then he says that he described that Bhagavatam to his son Shukdev Goswami. So natural question is, if Shukdev Goswami is a self-realized Atmaram, how can he get attracted to Bhagavatam? So therefore, Suta Goswami, he speaks the very famous verse, Atma Ramascha Muneyo Nirgantha Pyurukrame Kurvanta Hetu Ki Bhakti Uttam Bhuta Gunohari. Even the great Atma Ramas, they get attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. Hare Gunakshiptamati. So Therefore, Shukdev Goswami, he became dear to the devotees of the Lord. So after describing this, the second section, the last section of the first canto, now the life of Parikshit Maharaj is being described. So he went on a detour. Last time we discussed, we heard, he started the description of birth, but he then started describing how this Kunti Maharani offered prayers before Krishna, and then Lord went to left for Dwarka. The mood of separation is described of Hastinapur Vasis, and then mood of union, Sambhog and Vipralamba are described. And then again the sages, they remind Suta Goswami that I think you have gone a little ahead. Detour chale gaye aap, please tell us the glories of the birth and the pastimes of Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshitoth Rajarshe Janma Karma Vilapanam Samstham cha Panduputranam
Putranam
Kathodayam.
Kathodayam.
Translation.
Now I shall begin the transcendental narration of Lord Shri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage among kings, as well as topics of the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu.
So, Vakshe, Krishna Kathodayam. I shall describe all this because it is in connection to Krishna. So, Prabhupada writes, without Krishna, all these narrations, they are simply historical facts. With Krishna, they become transcendental. So, anything related to Krishna is purifying. So, therefore, the sages wanted to hear. So, then the story begins in the 13th verse. Now, Suta Goswami describes what happens. Somebody can do the translation. 13th, 14th verse. 13th and 14th verses. Translation.
The warriors of both camps, namely the Kauravas and the Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations. And the son of Dhritarashtra fell down, lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten by the club of Bhimsena, the son of Dronacharya, Ashwatthama, beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered them as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act and he was not pleased in the least.
So when Brahmana brought the beheaded the sons, the heads of the son of Pandavas, and presented, thinking that these are the sons of Pandavas. But Duryodhana, as soon as he took those heads in the hand and crushed, so then it was very soft. So then Duryodhana understood these are not the heads of Pandavas, and he started lamenting. So although he was such a sinful person, but still he was lamenting because he thought last descendant of the Pandavas are not there, they're destroyed. So therefore he was also not happy. He was not pleased, he was not pleased in the least. So Prabhupada writes, Gita is Krishna Katha and Bhagavatam is also Krishna Katha. Bhagavatam is spoken about the Lord and Gita is spoken by the Lord. So both are Krishna Katha. And therefore Prabhupada writes that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted these 2 versions to be spread all over the world. So therefore he has given the standing order. What is the order of Mahaprabhu? Preach. Which verse? Very famous verse. Nahi. Preach this message. Bharat Bhumi te
Janma hila jar, janma sarthak kari karu pakar.
And there is one more verse. Amar agya guru hoya tare desh tare kaho Krishna Pradesh. So that's what Prabhupada is paraphrasing here. Lord Chaitanya desired that all who are born in India seriously understand Krishna Katha and preach this message. Mata Shishunam Nidhanam Sutanam Nishamya Ghoram Paritapyamana Tadarudadvashpakalalukulakshi Tansantvayan Aha Kiritamali.
Draupadi, the mother of the 5 children of the Pandavas, after hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears. Trying to pacify her in her great loss, Arjuna spoke to her thus.
Next translation.
O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then after burning your son's bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head.
So this is the vow Arjuna takes. And Prabhupada writes the famous thing which he has written in Bhagavad Gita also. 6 types of aggressors can be killed. The one who kills, one who gives poison, holder of weapons, one who steals wealth, plunders wealth, usurps agricultural fields, and entices one's wife. Such an aggressor, though he be a Brahmana, has to be punished in all circumstances. So when Arjuna promised to behead the aggressor Ashwathama, he knew well that Ashwathama was son of a Brahmana, but because he acted like a butcher, he was taken as such, and therefore was no question of sin in killing such a Brahmana's son. So that's how Arjuna takes a vow to kill Ashwathama, and this is a very, very interesting incident where Krishna will test his devotee to a very great extent. So now the 17th is a very, very important verse, because in this first time the hero of Bhagavatam enters the Bhagavatam. So far Krishna has not entered Bhagavatam. This is the first entry of Krishna in Bhagavatam. How did Krishna enter Bhagavad Gita? What was the scene? No. How it is described? How Krishna is described when he entered?
Achyuta. श्री भगवान वाचा.
नहीं वो तो बहुत बाद में, वो तो सेकंड चैप्टर हो गया.
अच्युता में आता है ना, तो he says
first chapter 14th verse.
okay, yes.
श्वेतैर हयैर्युक्ते महती संदने स्थितो माधव पांडवश्चैव दिव्यौ शंखौ प्रदद्मतु. He enters as a humble chariot driver. That's how Krishna enters Bhagavad Gita. And the exact same way Krishna enters Bhagavatam also, as a humble chariot driver. Generally a hero of the movie enters with a bang. South Indian movies mein aisa ekdam the villain is standing this side and the hero comes in a car and halts with a screeching sound, and then the gate opens, or pehle camera focus on the feet, lotus feet, and then slowly comes to the face. That's how hero enters any movie. But here Krishna enters in such a humble way as a chariot driver. He is a hero of the Bhagavatam, but he is telling the whole world that I want to become the servant of my devotees. That is the Bhakta Vatsalyata of Krishna. So Bhagavatam doesn't make Krishna as a prominent character, but makes Krishna's Bhakta Vatsalyata as the prominent emotion. So that's how entire Bhagavatam is full of. So in entire Bhagavatam, Krishna shows the glories of his devotees. Evam sandarshita hyanga harina bhrityavashyata swavashena pi krishnena yasyedam saishwaram vashe. So Krishna, he performs all his pastimes to prove to the whole world that how I become the servant of my devotees, how I become controlled by devotees. All those Yasedam sa Ishwaram Vashe, all the Ishwaras, all the controllers of the universe are in control of Krishna, but Krishna is controlled by devotees. That's how Krishna enters Bhagavatam. Yes, somebody can read the translation of the 17th verse.
Guided by the incredible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady was satisfied. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious impulse. In getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Ashwatthama, the son of his nephew. martial.
So Arjuna, he along with his friend and driver Krishna, he set out to follow Ashwathama. Tamapatantam savilakshya durat Kumaraho dvignamanaratena Paradravat prana paripsurupyam Yavad gamam rudra bhayad yathakaha.
Ashwathama, the murderer of the princess, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with a great speed, fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so now Ashwathama, he sees Krishna and Arjuna coming at a great speed. So as soon as he sees Krishna and Arjuna, he just flees away from the battlefield in his chariot just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Lord Shiva. So Prabhupada tells this story. Somebody can read the story from the purport.
According to the reading that either Ka or Anka, the full one, right?
Yeah.
Ka or Anka, there are two references in the Puranas. Ka means Brahma, who once became allured by his daughter and began to follow her, which infuriated Shiva, who attacked Brahma with his trident. Brahmaji fled in fear of his life. As far as Arka is concerned, there is a reference in the Vamana Purana. There was a demon by the name Vidyunmali, who was gifted with a glowing golden airplane which traveled to the back of the sun and night disappeared because of the glowing effulgence of this plane. Thus the sun god became angry, and with his virulent rays, he melted the plane. This enraged Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva then attacked the sun god, who fled away and at last fell down at Kashi, Varanasi, and the place became famous as Lol Arka.
Unsteady sun, Lol Arka. So the two pastimes are quoted here. So Ashwathama, he ran just like Brahma ran, and just like sun ran out of fear of Lord Shiva. So there's a famous story which comes in the third canto also, how Brahmaji, he was attracted to his own daughter, and this detail is not described there. There it is just described that all the sages, all the sons of Brahmaji, they try to give good advice to Brahmaji, but ultimately he doesn't listen. But after lots of good advice, he understands his mistake and then he gives up his mentality. So that is what is described there.
Here, somebody asked, when this story was narrated, after Lord Shiva attacked sun god and fled away, then what happened?
I don't know what happened. Sometimes devotees ask such amazing questions. So yesterday only I was just taking Bhakti Vaibhav class, and one Mataji was asking such. I forgot the question, but it was like everybody saying, "ये पूछने का question है." Why she's asking such question? So anyways, some entertainment happens when such questions come. Okay. So now Ashwathama is running away for his life, and Ashwathama, he understands that his horses are no match with the horses of Krishna's chariot. So as a result, he took out his own weapon of Brahmastra. So 19th verse translation. Somebody can read.
Issue only when there is no alternative. The nuclear weapon.
19th. Translation.
Son of the Brahmana, Ashwathama, saw that his horses were tired. He considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of this, using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra.
So when we hear, this Brahma story that he ran after his own daughter. So when Maitreya Muni, he describes the story, he tells that we have heard that once Brahma, he was attracted to his own daughter. So Acharya say that he is speaking this story with such great hesitation. He's not happy, batata ek, aur kya hua tha kand, No, that's how, he is speaking with lots of hesitation just to teach the people in general the power of lust. How even Brahmaji can get affected by this. So therefore, when we hear in Bhagavatam the stories of great devotees committing some mistakes, so we should always understand that in the matter of time, they'll get purified. Just like in the second canto, there is a list which is given by Brahmaji to Narada, in which he tells that who all can understand the Supreme Lord. He begins with, he says, I can understand. And then he says, Yayati. In that list, who all comes? Yayati, Shaubari, and one more personality who has done, So we have heard about these people, he fell down to lust, married 50 daughters of Mandhata, how he became pure devotee. Pururava, attracted by Urvashi. So when we hear some of the pastimes in Bhagavatam, we should understand that that is just a small instance in the life of that devotee. Just like before coming to Krishna consciousness, we may have done some things, and after we have become devotees. So हमारे पिछले वाले friend अगर बोलेंगे ये ऐसा कैसे हो गया, how can he do this? He has done all wrong things. So just because we have done some wrong things in the past, we should not tag a devotee हमेशा ऐसे ही रहने वाला. So that's how when we hear such things in Bhagavatam, that's just for us to take lessons. We should never ever judge these great devotees. Teji asam na doshayet. We should never find faults with the great personalities. Okay, so that is just an additional thing. So Ashwatthama, he saw that his horses are tired. So he had no alternative. He used his weapon, ultimate weapon. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that Dvijatmaja is significant. Ashwatthama, he is not exactly a qualified Brahmana. The most intelligent man is called as Brahmana, and it is not a hereditary title. So Ashwatthama is referred to as Brahma Bandhu. So who is a Brahma Bandhu? Sometimes Dvij Bandhu, Shatra Bandhavaha. So what is the meaning of this Bandhu? Anybody knows?
He's the son of Brahmana, but he has no qualities.
He's not following the occupation of Brahmana. What is the Brahmanical occupation? According to Bhagavad Gita? Anybody remembers? In the 18th chapter, Krishna gives the qualities of Brahmanas. Shamo, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham, Jnana Vijnanam Astikyam, Brahma Karma. So if a person is not following his own occupational duty, then although he is born in that, he is not qualified Brahmana. He becomes a Brahma Bandhu. So Ashwatthama, he becomes a Brahma Bandhu because he has started an occupation of Kshatriya. So, this is how demoniac people are. So when demoniac people, they are placed in dangerous situations, they have two options. Either commit suicide or destroy everything. So now, Ashwatthama, he finds nothing, so he wants to destroy everything. Kamsa, when he announced killing of Ugrasena and Vasudev and everybody. So when Krishna was coming to kill him in the arena, so Kamsa announced, he understood that now I am going to die. So he said, destroy everyone. So that's how demoniac people are, and that's what Ashwatthama is doing here. But devotees, when they are faced with danger, they take shelter of Krishna. That's what will come in this chapter and in the further chapters also. And very interesting thing, how Arjuna offers his prayers to Krishna. That is very interesting. Athopasprisya salilam sandade tat samahitaha ajanannapi samharam pranakrichra upasthite.
Since his life was in danger, he touched water in sanctity and concentrated upon the chanting of the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons, although he did not know how to withdraw such weapons.
So although he didn't have full knowledge of Brahmastra, but he understood that there is no way I can save myself apart from this. So he used that weapon. Then what happened? Tata pradushkritam teja prachandam sarvatodisham
प्रचण्डं सर्वतोदिशं
pranapadam abhiprekshya
प्राणापदं
Krishna
प्रेक्ष्य
Arjuna uvachaha Vishnum
विष्णुर्विष्णुवाचः
Thereupon a glaring light spread in all directions. It was so fierce that Arjuna thought his own life in danger, and so he began to address Lord Sri Krishna.
So now interestingly, Arjuna's life is in danger. But what he is doing first, how he offers prayers. Now the first set of prayers in Bhagavatam is coming. This is the first set of prayer in Bhagavatam, Arjuna's prayers. So this is how we should recite, we should offer prayers. Whenever we go in front of the Lord, most of the time we have our, before coming to Krishna consciousness, it was the case always. Ghanti bajao, pranam karo, jo mangna hai mango, prasad milega, aur fir return. 2 minutes mein ho gaya, business over. But it's okay. But in Krishna consciousness, when we come in front of the Lord, there is a sequence which we should follow. That is the etiquette. So first, we should glorify the Lord. Samprarthanatmika. 3 types of prayers. Anybody remembers? In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also Rupa Goswami writes, there are 3 types of prayers. Samprarthanatmika, Dainya Bodhika, and Lalasamayi. Samprarthanatmika means glorifying the Lord. And Dainya Bodhika means expressing one's own fallen condition. And then Lalasamayi, then asking whatever you have, whatever desire you have. So, this is a very, very essential etiquette. However urgent it may be, but we should follow this sequence. So now Arjuna's life is in danger. Brahmastra is coming towards him, but still he is not giving up the etiquette of offering respects to Krishna and glorifying Krishna first. So that's how he is beginning his prayers. First, 2 verses, I think 2 or 3 verses are just glorification of Krishna. And then after 2-3 verses, then he asks, "Kya ho raha? Please protect me." So he is following in that difficult situation also. That's why he is Arjuna. He's not an ordinary person. Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna uvacha.
एक क्वेश्चन पूछ सकती हूँ? Can I ask something?
Yes.
प्रभु जी, जैसे अभी आप कह रहे हैं कि जैसे एक डिवोटी जितना भी जैसे सीवियर स्टेज में होता है, should follow the etiquette kind of thing. तो जैसे हम देखते हैं कि द्रौपदी का जब ऐसे केस आता है तो she at once just called for the help, Govinda. So how will you understand like this?
See, the principle remains the same. The details may vary as per a devotee, but depending on our situation, we should follow whenever possible. Whenever great devotees, they do something that was in a completely helpless state. So Draupadi, she must have glorified Krishna also. So we don't know exact verses which Draupadi spoke. She may have glorified Krishna by 1 or 2 words also. So 1 or 2 words of glorification is also sufficient. We should not just say, "Protect me, O my Lord. You are all powerful." That's how every devotee begins. And she must also have said the same thing. If we read the exact verses of Mahabharata. So, Agre kuruna mata pandavanam dushashanena ritvastrakesha Krishna tadakrosha dananyanatha govinda damodara madhaveti. So she also glorifies Krishna by various names. Oh Govinda, oh Damodar, oh Madhav. That's the glorification of the Lord. Okay. So now Arjuna is offering prayers. Krishna, Krishna, oh Krishna, you are Mahabaho, you are all powerful one. Bhaktanam abhayankara. You are the only one who can give protection to your devotees. Tomeko dahyamananam. You are the only one who can give relief from the burning fire of this material existence. Apavargosi samsrite. So he's not just concerned about his body. He knows that Krishna can deliver me from this material existence also. So Krishna, Krishna, he is speaking twice. So One time, one devotee who was transcribing Prabhupada's lectures. Prabhupada would record in dictaphone and somebody would transcribe. So one time Prabhupada had written spoken Shri Radha Krishna. So he edited one Shri. That because it is repetition ho gaya, galti hai thoda. So Prabhupada called him and said, when I write in your language, you edit me. When I write in my language, don't edit me. So Shri is glorification of Krishna. So Brahmastra, it was so fierce that Arjuna is thinking now my life is in danger. So out of his anxiety, he's speaking this word Krishna twice. Krishna. It comes in the 10th canto also when the Gopas, they are surrounded by the forest fire. They also speak the similar verse. Krishna Mahavira Hera Mamogha Vikrama Dava Agnina Dahyamana Prapannosi Samsrite. Oh Krishna, oh you are all powerful. Oh Rama, Mahavira, please protect us from this fire, forest fire. So that's how that's how Arjuna approaches Krishna. That's how Uttara also approaches Krishna. Pahi Mahayogin. So that's how. So Prabhupada writes, Arjuna was aware of the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Therefore, Arjuna's version is authoritative. Krishna is almighty and especially the cause of fearlessness. A devotee of the Lord is all fearless because of the protection given by the Lord. So material existence is something like a blazing fire. Samsara davana lead loka. So because Krishna is not entangled in this world, he can give fearlessness. He can protect one because he is not affected by the fear of this world. Mad bhayad vati vatoyam suryastapati mad bhayat varshati indro dhati agni mrityuscharati mad bhayat. Out of fear of Krishna, everything is happening in this world. Kapila Dev tells this. Out of my fear, sun rises. Out of my fear, Indra showers rain. Out of my fear, death comes. So that's how fearless. The fear is the most prominent emotion in this world. Whatever is happening in this world is based on fear. And in this COVID times, all the companies, they have taken advantage of this fear. Dara ke, sab kuch kara rahe. All the industries. Itna sar jarurat hai darne ka to, such. So that's how fear is the most prominent emotion. King Bhartrihari, the famous personality Bhartrihari, he has written Niti Shatak, and in that he describes what are the various causes of fear in this world. Bhogi roga bhayam kule chuti bhayam vitte nripalad bhayam. He says Bhogi, a person who wants to enjoy, he is fearful of disease. Bhogi roga bhayam kule chuti bhayam, a person who is in high family is fearful of being thrown out of the family. Bhogi rog bhayam kule chuti bhayam rupe jaraya bhayam, a person who is beautiful is fearful of old age. Mane dainya bhayam, a person who has given respect, he is fearful of humility, being chastised. Mane dainya bhayam bale ripu bhayam, a powerful personality is fearful of enemies. Kaye kritantad bhayam, a person who is attached to body is fearful of death. So many other things also he says. But the last line says, Sarvam vastu bhayan vitam bhuvin nranam vairagyam eva abhayam. Everything in this world gives fear. What is the cause of fearlessness? If you become detached. If you are not attached, then you are fearless. So that's what Bhagavatam also says. Anybody remembers Bhagavatam version of what is fear? There is a verse in Bhagavatam which tells about Bhayam Dvitiya Abhiniveshatasya. When we accept anything apart from Krishna, that gives fear. So that's how Prabhupada writes. Krishna can give fearlessness. He's almighty, he's all powerful. And when we take shelter of the representative of the Lord, then we become fearless. So that's what Prabhupada said. When I chant Hare Krishna, I feel fearless. So if we are taking shelter of Krishna, then for sure we will feel fearlessness. Unnecessary fear comes when we depend on ourselves a lot. That creates anxiety, depression, tension, sleeplessness. It all starts with fear. So hearing such prayer, Krishna may say, I am your cousin. Why are you telling me all these things? So then Arjuna clarifies in the next verse, you are not my cousin. You are the Supreme Lord. Tamadya Purusha Shakshat Ishvara Prakrite Paraha Mayam Vyudasya Chaktya Kaivalye Sthita Atmani.
You are the original personality of Godhead who expands himself all over the creations and the transcendental to material energy. You have cast away the effect of the material energy by dint of your spiritual potential. You are always situated in eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna may say, I am your cousin, don't speak like this. So Arjuna replies, no, you are not my cousin. Only you can give fearlessness. And that's what he describes in this 23rd verse. Tom Adya Purusha, you are the original personality. Ishvara Prakrite Paraha, you are beyond, transcendental to the material creation, and you are Ishvara, you are the supreme controller. And therefore, Mayam Vyudasya Chit Shaktya, you have cast away the effects of material energy by dint of your spiritual potency. And you are always situated in transcendental bliss. So that's how Arjuna begins his prayers. He says, you are the Supreme Lord, only you can give fearlessness. Kunti Maharani also speaks a similar verse as she begins her prayers in the 8th chapter. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam. You are the Adi Purusha. Ishvara Prakrite Param. So Bhishma also says the same thing when he is instructing Yudhishthir Maharaj. Esh vai Bhagavan Sakshat Adyo Narayana Puman. So when it will come in the 9th chapter, when Krishna takes all the Pandavas to Bhishma. So Bhishma asks Pandavas, Yudhishthir, how come this calamity came upon all of you? Whatever you have, it is unimaginable combination. You have best of the morality, best of the skills, best of the power, and Krishna himself. Still problems came in your life. How is it possible? Because it is all arranged by the will of time, by the time factor. And who is this time factor? This personality is standing in front of you. Don't think he is your cousin. Yan manyase matuleyam surin mitram priyottamam. No, he is not your cousin. He is a Supreme Lord. Eshvai Bhagavan Sakshat. So that's how this theme is very, prominent in the prayers of Bhagavad devotees. They all recognize Krishna is a Supreme Adi Purusha. So Prabhupada writes in the purport. One who surrenders to the lotus feet of the Lord can get released from the clutches of nations. Which verse? Bhagavad Gita? One who surrenders gets freed. Famous verse. Okay.
Devi Gunamai.
Devi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameve Prapadyante Mayametam Tarantite. So that's the best mean to get out of the world of ignorance, to take shelter of Krishna. He is the original Purusha. And Prabhupada writes in detail about how Krishna is original Lord, and whenever Krishna is there, darkness cannot exist. Krishna Suresam Maya hai Andhakar, Taha Krishna Yahani Maya Radhikar. Then last few lines Prabhupada writes, he is distinct from material nature, which is complicated by the three modes of nature. He is Parama or chief, he is absolute. So that's how. Now in 22nd verse, Arjuna is saying you are the ultimate shelter. In 23rd verse, he says you are transcendental. And in the 4th verse, 24th, he says you are merciful. Still, he has not, started. Why he is offering prayers? 4 श्लोक बोल रहे हैं, पता ही नहीं अभी कुछ नहीं. Saeva jiva lokasya माया
तस्य
मोहितचेतसः
माया मोहितचेतसः
विधत्से स्वेन वीर्येण
विधत्से स्वेन वीर्येण
श्रेयो धर्मादिलक्षणम्
श्रेयो धर्मादिलक्षणम्.
And yet, though you are beyond the purview of the material energy, you execute the four principles of liberation characterized by religion and so on for the ultimate good of the conditioned souls.
Sa eva jiva lokasya. So all the living entities who are maya mohita, who are affected by your maya, but you are beyond material energy. Vidhatse svena viryena. Vidhatse means you execute this entire material manifestation by your own influence. Shreyo dharmadi lakshanam. And you execute the four principles of liberations characterized by, what are the four principles? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So vidhatse means you execute. So although Lord has nothing to do in this world, but still he is doing. Which verse? Bhagavad Gita. Which chapter? Third chapter. Krishna says, I am also doing, because if I will not do, people will follow me. Name parthasti kartavyam. There is nothing for me to do in this world, but still I am doing it, because utside yurime loka na kuryam. If I will not do, people will follow me and entire world will be ruined. So although Lord is transcendental, he does all the duties to set an example. That is how Arjuna is praying. And then he says, now in the 25th verse, he describes the reason of your descent. What is the reason of Lord's descent? Tathayam chavataraste bhuvo bharaji hirshaya svanam chananya bhavanam anudhyanaya chasakret.
As you descend as an incarnation to remove the burden of the world and to benefit your friends, especially those who are your exclusive devotees and have constantly wrapped in meditation upon me.
Constantly what I guess. Oh, okay. And there are some changes sometimes. That's why I was okay. So that is the third verse, third question of the sages. What is the third question of the sages in the first chapter? Why did Krishna take birth from the womb of Devaki? What was the answer?
To attract the conditioned souls.
To reclaim the fallen conditioned souls. So there are more reasons for Krishna's descent, to attract all the living entities, attract the devotees, to establish dharma. So that's what he's saying here. To remove the burden of the world and to benefit your friends. So there are various reasons. In the Kunti Maharani, she offers many reasons why you appear in this world. First, she says, because Devaki and Vasudev, they prayed, that I think that's why you appeared. Then she says that you appeared for the welfare of the pious kings like Yudhishthir Maharaj. And then she says, no, what is the actual reason for your appearance? You appear to establish the principles of devotion. Shrindvanti gayanti grinanti abhikshnasya smaranti nandanti tave hitam janata eva pashyanta chirena tavakam bhava pravaho param padam. So these are the various reasons. So now after offering all these prayers, so Prabhupada writes in the purport, it appears that the Lord is partial to his devotees. Is Lord partial? No? Lord is not partial to his devotees? How many say Lord is partial to his devotees? Nobody says partial. How many say Lord is not partial? He is equal to everyone. Confused.
In giving mercy, he is equal to everyone.
Okay.
But in reciprocation, he reciprocates the
Actually, Krishna himself says in one verse two things. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshvasya. What is the next line? ये भजंती तुमाम भक्त्या, जो मेरा भक्ति है करते हैं ना, उनके लिए मैं स्पेशल Krishna is Supreme Personality of Partiality. He is always partial to his devotees. There is no doubt about it. Swanam Paksha Poshanam. There is a word which comes. Swan. अपने पक्ष का पोषण अच्छे से करते हैं वो. अपने side में है ना. See in Vrindavan who all came to destroy. Who all demons? Who all came? What are the various? Who are the various demons? Starting from Putana.
Starting from Putana, Pralambasura, Sakatasura, Adhasura, Bakasura.
Anyone else? Everybody was killed before they started doing anything. कुछ करने के पहले आ भी नहीं किया कि गया. And two personalities who did maximum damage. They were came to Vrindavan. Kalia and Indra.
They both of them are
maximum damage kiya kaun? Devotee.
forgiven.
And Kalia. So why Indra was not given punishment? सबसे बड़ा डैमेज. He wanted to destroy entire Vrindavan. एक दो ग्वाल बालों को नहीं, entire Vrindavan he wanted to inundate. Still Krishna didn't say anything to Indra. Why?
Forgiven.
अपना आदमी है, साइड में लो इसको, अलग से उसको ट्रीटमेंट देंगे हम लोग. That's why Krishna just gave warning. Indra, please don't do this again. एकदम प्रेम से, And why Kalia was not punished, not killed? So devotee का contact भी रहेगा तो भी बच जाते हैं. So that's how Krishna is always partial. So Prabhupada writes, although he is equal to everyone, but for sure he is partial to his devotees. Just like a father. Father gives mercy to all the children, but those who are obedient, थोड़ा तो special रहता है ना. सबको तो खाना खिलाएंगे, ऐसा नहीं इसको लंच नहीं मिलेगा, इसको डिनर नहीं मिलेगा, बात नहीं माना, नहीं. बट स्पेशल जो मर्सी है वो ओबीडिएंट सन को ही मिलेगा. Lord is everyone's father. No one can be his father yet, and no one can be his son. His devotees are his kinsmen. His devotees are his relations. This is his transcendental pastime. Now, after giving 4 verses in glorification of the Lord, then he is telling, "Arey kya chal raha hai? Thoda bachao, hai na? Kim midam svit kuto veti, deva deva na vedmyaham, sarvato mukham ayati, teja paramadharunam."
O Lord of Lords, how is it that this dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? I do not understand it.
Kimidam kuto seveti svit. Where does it come from? Oh Deva Dev, O Lord of the Lords, na vedmyaham, I do not understand. This is Paramadharunam. This dangerous effulgence is spreading all around. So it is very interesting that Arjuna had seen many Brahmastras before also. How he is not able to understand that this is a Brahmastra? Kimidam, what is this? So Vallabhacharya, he tells, who is Vallabhacharya, from Krishna Leela? Vallabhacharya, the Pushtimargi Acharya. He is Shukdev Goswami from Krishna Leela, appeared as Vallabhacharya. That's what Gaur Gandosh Deepika says. So he gives such wonderful insights, just 3, 1st, 2nd, 3rd canto and 10th canto. Only 4 cantos he has given commentary. Every verse is like 3-4 pages of commentary. So very beautiful insights. So in this verse, he says that, Ashwatthama didn't know how to shoot Brahmastra properly. So whenever Brahmastra is shot, generally the light should come from above. But because he didn't shoot Brahmastra properly, light was coming all over, from all around. That's why Arjuna could not say, "Kya hai? This is, I'm not able to understand." That's why he is asking, "Kimidam, what is this? This effulgence is coming all around." So that is why he is not able to understand. So Prabhupada also writes a very important observation here. Anything that is presented before the Lord should be done after due presentation of respectful prayers. So expressing our gratitude, in front of the Lord, it is a very, very important ritual. We cannot surpass the ritual just because we are familiar with someone. When devotees they meet, "Arey vancha," so they don't offer obeisance. They have to familiar hai na. We know each other. There is no need of formality. No, formality is required. We can't surpass the rituals of Krishna consciousness. Etiquettes are very important. We should not give up the formalities of devotional service thinking that it is artificial. अभी बार बार प्रणाम करके दंडवत क्यों करना है, just गले मिल जाते हैं पहले. No, that is very, very important. To have respectful dealings, it is very, very important. So we can express our needs, but before that we have to express our gratitude and our appreciation to the Lord. Then only we can ask for our needs. In the 14th chapter it will come when Arjuna comes back dejected because all the queens of Krishna, first Krishna has departed and then he wanted to bring all the queens of Krishna to Dwarka, to Hastinapur, but in between some cowherd men came and they kidnapped all the wives also. Actually that was Krishna only who came in the form of cowherd men. So then Yudhishthir Maharaj, when he reaches Hastinapur, Yudhishthir Maharaj asks him, "What is the problem? Why are you so sad?" There also he offers his obeisances to Yudhishthir Maharaj first. And he speaks very respectfully. So even in that situation, he doesn't forget the etiquettes. So that is very, very important. Therefore, it is said that etiquettes are the ornaments of the Vaishnavas. Sadhavo sadhu bhushana. We are not decorated by nice tilak, kanthimala, no. The etiquettes, they are the ornaments of Vaishnavas. It comes in the 4th canto of Bhagvatam when Dhruva Maharaj, he performed his entire life of devotional service. Then he went to forest, did tapasya there, and then Sunanda appeared in the Vaikuntha airplanes. So what did Dhruva do first? He offered obeisances, circumambulated, and then after that, what he did? He offered obeisances to all the sages also. He asked their blessings and then went back. He didn't say, "Abhi main ja raha hu, aapke liye to aaya nahi hai, mere liye aaya." No, he was very respectful. So that's how he didn't become puffed up. He spoke very beautiful words. He asked for blessings. So blessings are very important. Whoever you may be, however big we may be, we should never ever think, "I have become bigger enough, I don't need blessings." Even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is the author of PhD literature, he is thinking, "I am no one." Chota bada bhaktagan bando sabha sri charan sabe mora kora hasantosh. Shri Rupa Gosaiyata Rupa Raghunath Janiyata Tai Likhi Nahi Mora Dosh. He says, "Chota bada bhaktagan, whoever you may be, I offer respects to you. Bando sabha sri charan, please give me your blessings." So this is very, very important. We cannot surpass the etiquettes in Krishna consciousness. So after hearing all these prayers, now Krishna, he speaks. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Vethedam Drona Putrasya Brahmamastram Pradarshitam
Brahmamastram pradarshitam.
Naivaso Veda Samharam
Naivaso Veda
Prana
Samharam.
Badha Upasthite.
Prana Badha Upasthite.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Know from me that this is the act of the son of Drona. He has thrown the hymns of nuclear energy Brahmastra, and he does not know how to retract the glare. He has helplessly done this, being afraid of imminent death."
So now Krishna is explaining the cause of this glare. And it is Vethedam. Oh Arjuna, please know from me. This is Dronaputra's, this is Ashwathama's activity. He has thrown this Brahmam Astram. He has thrown this Brahmastra. Naivaso Veda Samanam, although he doesn't know how to use it properly, still he has thrown it because he is helpless. So that is the insight now Krishna is giving, and then he gives the solution, what you should do. So Prabhupada writes, Brahmastra is like an atomic bomb of this age. The subtle science of chanting hymns is also material, but it has yet to be known by the modern scientists. A chanter of hymns knew how to apply the weapon as well as how to retract. That was perfect knowledge. Then in the 28th verse, Krishna says, okay, what you should do now? Nahi asyantamam kaschet asyantamam kaschet astram pratyavakarshanam
अस्त्रं प्रत्यङ्कर्षणं
jahi astrateja unnadham
जयस्त्रतेजनद्धम्
astragyo hi astratejasa.
अस्त्रज्ञो हि अस्त्रतेजसा.
Oh Arjuna, only another Brahmastra can counter this weapon. Since you are expert in the military science, subdue this weapon clear with the power of your own weapon.
Okay, throw another weapon and subdue. Okay, next verse. Now, Sutta Goswami speaking. Translation, somebody can read?
Goswami says, during this song, the personality of God, Arjuna touched the water for purification. And after circumventing the concentration, he cast his Brahmastra weapon.
Next.
The rays of the two Brahmastras combined, the great circle of fire covered all outer space and the whole firmament of planets.
Whole firmament of the planets. Everybody experienced that this heat of two Brahmastras. So heat created by the flash of Brahmastra resembled the fire of annihilation in the sun globe. Okay, next verse, translation.
All the conclusion of three words were squashed by the combined heat of the regions. Everyone was reminded of the Samanvartak fire which takes place at the end of the age.
Okay. Prajopadravam alakshya loka vyatikaram chatam matam cha vasudevasya sanjahara arjunodvayam.
Thus, seeing the disturbances of the general populace and the imminent destructions of the planet, Arjuna at once retracted both Brahmastra weapon as Lord Krishna desired. Hare Krishna.
So matam cha vasudevasya. Why Arjuna did all this? This word is very important. Matam cha vasudevasya. It was the desire of Krishna. So whatever Arjuna does, it is the desire of Krishna. And that is the desire of, so all the Pandavas, they work just because Krishna wants it. Pandavas are malleable to the will of the Lord. That's why Krishna becomes malleable to the will of the Pandavas and he is ready to do anything for them. He becomes their chariot driver, messenger, protector. Saratya parashada sevana sakhya dautya virasana nugamanastavana pranaman. He becomes everything for them. Sarati, parashada, sevat, sakhya, dautya. Why? Snigdheshu pandushu jagat. Pandavas are malleable to the will of Krishna. So that's why whatever they do in their life, they are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. So Prabhupada writes, somebody can read the purport here.
Theory that the modern atomic bomb explosions can annihilate the world in Kelly's imagination. First of all, the atomic energy is not power full enough to destroy the world. And secondly, ultimately, it all rests on the supreme will of the Supreme Lord, because without his will or sanction, nothing can be built up or destroyed. It is also to think that natural laws are ultimately powerful.
Okay, that's it. So atomic bombs can never destroy the entire world. That's what people say. Oh, this world will be destroyed. No. Everything happens by the will of the Lord. Ultimately, destruction of this world will happen only when Lord desires. So if living entities' will matches with the will of the Lord, then things happen. Otherwise, it won't happen. However we may try, if our will doesn't match with the will of the Lord, it is not going to happen. Because ultimately, Lord's will always prevails, not our whim. So living entities' insignificant whim doesn't prevail. Lord's will always prevail. So that's what Prabhupada writes. That because Krishna wanted it, so therefore Arjuna retracted the Brahmastra weapons. So one cannot claim that he has done anything in this world. Whatever is happening is by the will of the Lord. Matam cha Vasudevasya, because it was the desire of the Lord. That's why it has happened. Kartum akartum anyatha kartum. That's what Lord is. He can make some things, he can undo things, and he can, do everything else also. The Bollywood style, anhoni ko honi karte aur wo wale jo hain wo only Krishna can do that. Kartum akartum and anyatha kartum. He can do anything. So therefore we should never ever claim that I have done this. We are just the instruments. We are given some skills, some capacity. It can be taken anytime. Even Arjuna was not spared of this. All his power was taken away. He could not even defeat some simple cowherd men. That's how, if Lord wants to keep us humble, make us humble, he can do anytime, however great we may be. In the 15th chapter of this first canto, Arjuna, when he returns from Dwarka, he says, this is the same Gandiva, same chariot, same horses, I am the same warrior, but still I could not defeat them. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, one should not be puffed up by the borrowed plumes. उधार के किसी भी चीज का, you should not be proud of it. So therefore the powers and skills which we have, they are not needed to go back to the spiritual world. They are needed for some service, but they are not needed so Krishna can take them away. So although it is a very, very harsh reality, it is very difficult to accept it, but that's how Lord works. That's how he is showing through his greatest of the devotee Arjuna. Arjuna ka bhi aisa ho gaya hal, He could not defeat even simple. Of course, they were not ordinary, they were Krishna himself, but still. So quality of bhakti decides our progress, not the quantity. Kitna bada seva kiya maine. But what was our consciousness behind that? That decides our bhakti. Institutional success and individual success, both are important. We may do great things in service of Prabhupada, but if we become proud of whatever I have done, then individually we have lost. So both are equally important. That's what we should be aware of. So after this, Arjuna, he became very angry, and so next verse, somebody can read the translation? 33rd verse, translation.
Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper, dexterously arrested the son of Gautami and bound him with ropes like an animal.
Okay, like an animal, he captured him. So Arjuna's eyes are described as Tamraksha. Then next verse, Krishna's eyes are described as Ambujaksha. So that is a difference. Shibiraya nishantam rajjava badhva rikumbalat praharjunam prakupito bhagwan ambujekshanaha. So Lord looks beautiful even when he is angry. Krishna is also very angry, because Ashwatthama has offended his devotees. He is very angry, but still, although he is angry, still he is ambujekshana. Still he is beautiful. That's how Krishna is. So Prabhupada writes, this means that the angry mood of Arjuna and that of the Lord are not on the same level. Lord is transcendence. He is absolute. His anger is not like the anger of conditioned living beings. He is absolute, so anger and pleasure are same. His anger is not exhibited in three modes of material nature. It is only a sign of his bent of mind towards the cause of his devotees. So because Arjuna is angry, just to accompany him and to encourage him, Krishna also becomes angry. So thoda ta mood match hona chahiye na. If Krishna is laughing and Arjuna is angry, Arjuna will be bewildered. Kya chal raha hai? I am angry. So that's why Krishna, he becomes angry just to support the mood of anger of Arjuna. Okay, let me encourage Arjuna by becoming angry. So, but in that anger also he is beautiful. In Damodar Leela also, Krishna is angry. Rudantam uranetram yugmam rijamtam karam bhoja yugmena atanka netram. What is the fear? What is the difference between bhaya and atanka? in the students terminology, जब तक पढ़ाई कर रहा है, कल एग्जाम है, so he has fear कि क्या आएगा एग्जाम में, he doesn't know, and then when the question paper comes, then there is आतंक, है ना, अभी कुछ नहीं आता है. So आतंक, now Arjun, Krishna is thinking अभी कुछ नहीं हो सकता, Yashoda is carrying stick, अभी तो पिटाई होने ही वाली है. Therefore आतंक नेत्रम. That's what Sanatana Goswami writes in his commentary. So, but his anger is not like anger of conditioned living entities. His anger is transcendental. That is to increase the pleasure of the devotees. He does all those things just to prove that devotees are greater than me. In Damodar Leela, Lord gives up 7 qualities. Lord is Atmaram, he becomes Tanyakam. There are many other. Lord is Sachidananda, he becomes angry. So like that. So when he becomes angry, it is not material, it is transcendental. Okay, now Krishna, he is okay. 34th verse translation. Okay, we did. So now after all this, Ashwatthama is captured. Now Krishna is speaking. Mainam partharhasi tratum Brahma bandhum imam jahi
Brahma bandhum imam jahi
Yosavanaga sahsuptan
Yosavanagam sam
Avadhin nishibalakan.
Avidin Shivalakan.
Lord Sri Krishna said, "Oh Arjuna, you should not show mercy by releasing relatives of Brahmana Bandhu, for he has killed innocent boys in their sleep." Hare Krishna.
So now Krishna is saying you should never leave this person because he is Brahma Bandhu. He is killer of your innocent boys. So Krishna is actually supporting the killing of this Brahma Bandhu. A person who has taken birth in a Brahmana family but is not qualified to be a Brahmana is addressed as Brahma Bandhu. So Prabhupada gives an example, just like a high court judge, his son is capable of becoming a high court judge, but just because he is born in a family of high court judge, he is not called as high court judge. Similarly, a person who is born in a family of Brahmana, he is not called as a Brahmana. Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Then 36 is a very important verse. He says, Krishna is giving very, very logical reasons. Very nicely is describing who should be killed. A person who violates the laws of war, he should be killed. Mattam pramattam unmattam Suttam balam striyam jadam Prapannam virahitam bhitam Naripam hanti dharmavit.
A person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy who is careless, intoxicated, insane, asleep, afraid, or devoid of his charity. Nor does he kill a boy, a woman, a foolish creature, or a surrendered soul.
So he's saying he has violated the codes of war. So a person should know when to show compassion and when to punish. That is an art. So now Krishna very nicely is testing Arjuna. That's what will come. Sudha Goswami will tell. Krishna tested Arjuna. Evam parakshita dharmam. He tested Arjuna's knowledge of dharma. So he's testing. So therefore, Arjuna, he is giving lots of logical reasons. A person who is mattam, mad, intoxicated, insane, sleeping. So the Ashwatthama killed the sleeping sons of Draupadi. So they should never be killed. Enemy who does not resist is never killed by a warrior. Formerly, battles were fought on the principles of religion and not for the sake of sense gratification. That's what in the beginning of Mahabharata, Drishtadyumna, he said, we will not be the first one to break the laws of war. But if they break, then we will not follow. So because he knew that Duryodhana will not follow the laws of this war. There are codes of war. So he said, we will not be the first one to break, because Shatho Shatyam, that's the principle. If a person is cunning, then you cannot remain simple. You have to behave in a cunning way to kill a cunning person. So that's what Krishna is telling. So now, although he is giving lots of wonderful reasons, we should know that sometimes an instruction is given, but it is given with an intention that you should not do it. So Krishna knows the heart, Arjuna knows the heart of Krishna, therefore he couldn't understand, he's testing me. Sometimes it is said, some seniors, they give some instructions, but they know that they want that you should not do this. They are just testing. Subah Mangal Aarti mat aao, late ho gaya hai, kitna abhi. But they want that you should come, But still, externally, they may say, okay, ठीक है, just to test how sincere he is. Or Prabhu ji ne bola, main to wait hi kar raha tha, Chalo, so jate hain. So Krishna is also testing Arjuna. So sometimes we are told to do something, but it requires intelligence to read in between the lines. Okay, what does he actually want? So that's how Krishna is testing. Swaprananyah paraprani prapushnaatya ghrina khalaha tadvadasya tasya hi shreyo yaddoshadyatya dhappuman.
Maintains its existence at the cost of others, lives that deserve to be killed for his own well-being. Otherwise, he will go down by his own actions.
So he's saying a cruel and wretched person who maintains by killing others, he should be killed. So if sometimes the instructions is not clear and there are different opinions coming, so better to give a benefit of doubt and don't execute the instruction at the earliest. Just wait for some time. So that's how we have to do. So, and many times it happens that if we go to authority and we are adamant asking, do permission, do, and then he's not willing to give permission. But still, because you are so adamantly asking that, chalo. One disciple came to Prabhupada and actually he was a sannyasi, and then he came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I cannot follow my sannyas house, I want to get married. So Prabhupada said, okay, please get married in a dharmic way. And he gave his blessings. This person came and said, I want to take divorce. I can't stay with my wife. So then Prabhupada heard, and then he said, okay, you can go ahead. So then other devotee was hearing, said, Prabhupada, it is not dharmic. It is not according to Vedic, rules. So why you did give permission? So Prabhupada said, if I would have not given permission, anyways, he would have taken divorce. Then he would have been implicated in two things. The sin, the karma of divorcing, and then not following the orders of the spiritual master also. Out of mercy, sometimes the superiors may give some, okay, chalo bhai kar lo. So we have to be really careful. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagdanand Pandit, he wanted to go to Vrindavan. And he was really asking again and again, I want to go. Then Mahaprabhu, although he was unwilling, he gave permission. But he said, please stay with Sanatana Goswami. Don't move around alone in Vrindavan. So that's how very important. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes that Krishna's nature is that although he is omniscient, he tests the devotees in this way in order to show their sense of justice to others. Okay. So then Prabhupada writes in the purport, that there are who all can be killed and who all becomes responsible for killing an animal. A person who gives permission, who kills, who sells, who cooks, who distributes, and who eats. All of them become implicated. No one can create a living being despite all advancement of spiritual material science. Therefore, no one has right to kill a living being by one's independent whims. And then Krishna continues, he says, so Prabhupada writes about animal killing in some detail. And then he says, I have heard that you have given promise to Draupadi. That's how Arjuna started. I'll get the head of Ashwathama, you can stand on the head and then you can take your path. So Krishna is reminding her, tune vachan bhi diya hai Draupadi ko. I have heard it. And this man is a killer. And not only that, he is not satisfied his master also. Duryodhana is also not satisfied. And he is the burnt remnant of family. Kul Pamshana. So therefore, kill him immediately. 40th verse. In this way, Krishna is testing. Suta uvacha evam parikshata dharmam partha krishnena choditaha naichadhantum gurusutam yadyapyatmahanam mahan.
Sutta Goswami said, although Krishna, who was examining Arjuna in the legend, encouraged Arjuna to kill the son of Dronacharya, Arjuna, a great soul, did not like the idea of killing him. Although Ashwatthama was the heinous murderer of Arjuna's family member.
Evam parikshata. So Krishna was testing and Arjuna passed the test. He did not kill him. He did not like the idea. Evam parikshata dharmam. He was examining Arjuna in religion. Krishnena chodita. Therefore, Arjuna told Krishna to kill the son of Dronacharya, but na icchat. Arjuna did not like the idea. Yadyapi, although Atma Hanam Mahan, he was a heinous murderer of Arjuna's family members. So that's how Krishna's nature is. He puts his devotees into tests because he wants to bring the best out of his devotees. So everybody will be tested by Krishna in some way or other. If tests are not coming, that means Krishna has not taken us seriously yet, So tests will come for sure, because that is Krishna likes to put devotees to, just like a teacher, जब तक टेस्ट नहीं देंगे कैसे पता चलेगा फर्स्ट चैप्टर हो गया, सेकंड चैप्टर हो गया. So Krishna wants to test his devotees. Okay, अभी ये पास हो गया, next level का टेस्ट देंगे इनको. So that's how Krishna is. And Prabhupada writes that Arjuna was a great soul undoubtedly, which is proved here also. Second paragraph, Prabhupada writes, Lord Krishna encouraged Arjuna outwardly just to test Arjuna's sense of duty. Very important statement. Krishna encouraged Arjuna just to test Arjuna's sense of duty. Then next line, somebody can read this, very important.
It is not that Arjuna will complete in the sense of duty, nor was lost clear of the sense of duty. But Lord Sri Krishna took the test in people's duty just to define the sense of duty. The gopis were put to such tests as well. Prahlad Maharaj was also put to such tests. All four devotees come out successful in the tests.
So Krishna knows that my devotee is great, still he tests. It is not that Krishna was unaware, but still he is testing, because he wants to bring best out of devotees' response. So because Krishna knows that this devotee is great, how the world will know? The world should also know how great this devotee is. So therefore he keeps testing his devotees. Even gopis ko nahi choda to bhi, who are we? After leaving all their family members, Pati Sutanvayat, Bhratra Bandhavad, Ati Vilangyate, Achyutagata, giving up everything, they are coming. And then Krishna said, why have you come? You should not come in the middle of the night. Please go back. So then gopis are thinking, itna sab chhod ke. Kastyajinish, how can you give us up? So that's, and then he says, a woman of a respectable family should not give up her husband, however old, however diseased he may be. That's how Krishna is telling gopis, please go back. He's instructing them in dharma, pativrata dharma. But gopis didn't follow the word of Krishna, they followed the mood of Krishna. They knew Krishna is testing us. So that's how Krishna wants to put his devotees. Prahlad Maharaj was also put to test. So that's how Krishna wants to bring the best out of his devotees. Narsimdev also tested Prahlad. Please ask some benediction. So what did Prahlad say? What did he say? He said, I am not a businessman. I am not a vanik. I have not done bhakti to get something from you, my Lord. I just want to serve you. Then Narsimdev said, no, it is my nature. Whenever I appear, I would like to give benediction. Kuch to mango, So he is begging, mang le, kuch to, So that's how. Then he asked, okay, theek hai, chalo, aap bhi kya karenge. Then he asked, please give mercy to my father. Let me have no material desires. So Krishna tests his devotees. All pure devotees come out successful. That is the ultimate understanding. So Arjuna was put to test here. Prahlad Maharaj is put to test here. So in, I think one of the further verses.
Sorry.
Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes a beautiful thing. He says, Krishna will test each one of us. So he tested, in Bhagvatam, Parikshit Maharaj was tested 3 times by Shukdev Goswami. So Krishna tests his devotees, and the Acharyas also test their subordinates. So Parikshit Maharaj was tested 3 times. Anybody knows when all Parikshit Maharaj was tested? In the 5th canto, the last chapter is description of hell. So the 6th canto beginning, before that, Parikshit Maharaj asks, how these people will be delivered? Kaise hoga uddhar inka? So what Shukdev Goswami says? He gives first prayashchitta. And know I first verse? Manne Kunjar Shauch. He passes the test. This is a Kunjar Shauch. He'll be, he'll do prayashchit. Again, he will do sin. And then he says, Jnana Venu Gundam Ivanalaha. Gyan burns all the sinful, reactions, but still the seeds remain. The roots are still there. He rejects that also. Then he says, Shukdev Goswami says, Kechit Kevalaya Bhakti, only by bhakti. So this is the first test. Then in the 9th canto, Shukdev Goswami, so Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes all this in the purport to this verse. So in the 9th canto, in the end, Shukdev Goswami summarizes the entire Krishna Lila in 2 verses. So Shukdev Parikshit Maharaj, मैं तो 90 chapter सुनने के लिए बैठा हूँ, 2 वर्ष में आप बोल रहे हैं खत्म हो गया, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय बोल दें, कैसे चलेगा? So then Shukdev Parikshit Maharaj, he glorifies Krishna Katha, Nivratta Tarashay Rupagiyamana. How can I be satisfied? Don't think I am hungry, thirsty. This hunger and thirst is not troubling me. Naesha ati dussahak shunmam tyaktodam api badate pibantan tumukham bhoja chutam hari katham ritam. Bolte rahiye. So he passes the test. Then Shukdev Goswami speaks 90 chapters. अभी पूरा भागवतम खत्म होने के बाद भी शुकदेव गोस्वामी लास्ट भी टेस्ट लेके जाते हैं. 12th chapter, 12th canto, in the end, Shukdev Goswami describes Gyan. Shukdev Goswami ends Bhagavatam by telling Gyan is supreme. And then he leaves. But Parikshit Maharaj doesn't get confused. He practices bhakti only after that. He meditates on the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada writes, Chakravarti Thakur writes, Krishna, Shukdev Goswami tested 3 things. And we will be tested for these 3 things. In the 6th canto, Shukdev Goswami tested the Siddhanta. Kitna philosophy malum hai isko? Is he satisfied with karma? Karma kand, jnana, satisfied ho gaya kya no bhakti? So he tested Siddhanta. In the 9th canto, he tested Parikshit Maharaj's eagerness to hear Krishna's pastimes. How eager he is. Acha hoya 2 verses mein khatam kiya. Thank you very much. मैं तो wait ही कर रहा था. और बोलिए, I am not happy, satisfied. बोलते रहो आप. And then, in 12th canto, he tested his steadiness in bhakti. Okay, ज्ञान भी चलेगा क्या? Ashtanga is also good. I want only bhakti. So Krishna puts his devotees to test. and his disciples, pure devotees, also tests the eagerness, siddhanta, and steadiness in devotion. So Arjuna, he is tested of all these things, and Arjuna, he passes the test. अथोपेत्य स्वशिबिरम गोविंद प्रिय सारथी न्यावेदयत तम प्रियायै शोचन्त्या आत्मजानहतान.
After reaching his own camp, Arjuna, along with his dear friend and charioteer, Sri Krishna, entrusted the murderer unto his dear wife, who was lamenting for her murdered sons.
So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes few more things. He says that all pure devotees, Prabhupada writes, all pure devotees come out successful. So Prabhupada Chakravarti Thakur writes that he tested Prithu Maharaj also. So when Lord Vishnu appeared in front of Prithu Maharaj, he says, "Oh Prithu, please ask for some benedictions." So what does Prithu Maharaj ask? Anybody knows? Millions of tongues. Millions of Nakamayena tadapyaham kvachin. I don't want impersonal liberation. Nayatra yusma charanambuja, because there is no nectar of your lotus feet there. So then what do you want? Mahattamaikantaridayanu mukhachuto vidhatsva karna yutaeshameva. I want millions of years so that I can hear all Krishna Katha. All the millions of devotees are speaking Krishna Katha. I want to hear all of them. So that's how, Prithu Maharaj was also tested. So now in this, Arjuna, he entrusts this murderer to his wife Draupadi, who was lamenting for her sons. The transcendental relation of Arjuna with Krishna is of dearmost friendship. Lord himself has claimed, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Then, 42nd verse, translation. Somebody can read.
Sri Sutta Goswami said, Draupadi then saw Ashwatthama, who was bound with ropes like an animal and silent for having enacted the most inglorious murder. Due to her female nature and due to her being naturally good and well-behaved, she showed him due respects as a Brahmin.
So, Vama Swabhava, the mild and gentle nature. Therefore, she showed all good respects to Brahmana. That is very, very interesting. The 5 sons are killed, but still she is showing respect to Ashwatthama because he is the son of their teacher. So Prabhupada writes the last line. Okay, so Prabhupada writes some interesting lines in the purport. Women, Ashwatthama was condemned by the Lord himself, and he was treated by Arjuna just like culprit, not like a son of a Brahmana. But when he was brought before Srimati Draupadi, she, although aggrieved, she could not withdraw the due respect generally offered to a Brahmana. Women as a class are no better than boys. Therefore, they have no discriminatory power like that of man. Ashwatthama proved himself to be unworthy son of Dronacharya. Then Prabhupada focused on the Vama Swabhava. Somebody can read this paragraph, last paragraph.
The specific words used in this shloka are Vama Swabhava, mild and gentle by nature. A good man or woman accepts anything easily, but a man of average intelligence does not do so. But anyway, we should not give up our reason and discriminatory power just to be gentle. One must have good discriminatory power to judge a thing on its merit. We should not follow the mild nature of a woman and thereby accept that which is not genuine. Ashwatthama may be respected by a good-natured woman, but that does not mean that he is good as a genuine man.
So there are various devotees who are who are having different nature. Some are like Draupadi, mild, some are like Bhima, assertive. So we should acknowledge and understand that everybody has a different nature. So we should know how to deal with different people. So Arjuna has to deal with 2 different people. And Krishna manifests 2 more hands in this pastime because Bhima and Draupadi, they are arguing. भीमा बोल रहा मारो, Draupadi saying छोड़ दो. So Krishna manifests 2 more hands just to stop them. भाई झगड़ो मत, Arjuna you decide, So that's how in Siddhanta nobody has any confusion, but the details, they are always a problem. So we have to understand every devotee is a unique, because every avatar is also unique. Ram avatar dharma parayan, गलती किया तो punishment, कोई भी हो, पत्नी हो भाई हो कोई भी रहने दो, punishment मिलेगा ही. Draupadi, Sita had to go through Agni Pariksha although there was no fault. Krishna, who is Krishna? If Ram is dharma parayan, Krishna is prem parayan. प्रेम के लिए कुछ भी करेंगे, डिवोटी के लिए झूठ भी बोलेंगे, चोरी भी करेंगे, he'll break his own vows also, everything he will do for a devotee. प्रेम. Mahaprabhu is कृपा परायण, even higher. डिवोटी है ना, इसको इंचार्ज बना दो, सुधर जाएगा. So that's how various devotees are also in different modes. So Krishna is, Sud Goswami is talking about the mild nature of a woman. So of course they have more emotional intelligence. That's why it is nature of women. So then Draupadi, she is giving lots of logical reasons. She is not just speaking sentiments. She gives 5 reasons why Ashwatthama should not be killed. And hearing her arguments, Yudhishthira Maharaj changes his opinion. Even Krishna changes his opinion. Only chhod do isko, Everybody changes. Only Bhima. That's how strong opinion she gives. So it was not just out of sentiment, but her sentiments are followed by lots of logical understanding and dharmic understanding also. Uvacha chasa hantyasya bandhanayana sati mucyatamesha brahmano nitaram guruhu.
She could not tolerate Ashwatthama's inbound devoted lady. She said, release him, for he is a Brahmana, our spiritual master.
So she is now speaking quality of dharma. So this is dharma she is speaking. Oh, he's a Brahmana, he is our own spiritual master. Please release him. According to revealed scriptures, a teacher or a spiritual master is liable to be rejected if he proves himself unworthy, Prabhupada writes. So if somebody is not proper guru, he can be rejected. Any examples? A person who rejected
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj rejected Shukracharya. To a good lady like Draupadi, the matter was considered not from an angle of Shastric vision, but as a matter of custom. By custom, Ashwatthama was offered the same respect as offered to his father. It was so because generally the people accept the son of Brahmana as real Brahmana by sentiment only. But in spite of all this, Draupadi desired that Ashwatthama to be at once released. That is all good sentiment. So now Prabhupada is giving a Vaishnava angle to this understanding of Draupadi. This means a devotee of the Lord can tolerate all sorts of tribulation personally, but still such devotees are never unkind to others. Personally, they will accept and tolerate everything. Tiraskrita, vipralabdha, shapta, shipta, hatapi, nasya tat pratikurvanti, tad bhakta prabhavopihi. Although devotee is all powerful to retaliate, but still he doesn't do so. Even if he is cheated, insulted, even if he is tried to be killed. Shipta, shipta, hata. Na asya tat pratikurvanti, even if they are powerful enough to do so. Prabhavopihi. That is very, very important. He is powerful. Power hai nahi wahan chhod dete hain. No. Just like a person was traveling in train. Wo suna hai, time pucha usne. So he said, so one person was traveling in train. So he asked a person, "Bhai sahab, time kya hua hai?" So he slapped him. Time puch raha hu, jhapad mar raha hai. Bola 1 baja hai. तो 1 बजा तो 1, So the person standing behind said, "अरे यार तुम कुछ बोल नहीं रहे हो, तुम उसको झापड़ मारा तुमको." Said, "Seeing the size, I am thanking God. I didn't ask 1 hour back." Because इतना powerful है, but ठीक है अभी जान दो, छोड़ देते हैं अभी क्या अभी, you know. If somebody is not powerful enough, then there is no option. It's like two ants were going and elephant is coming. So एक बोलते चलो उसको जाके पीट के आते, you know. So दूसरे बोलते यार छोड़ यार हम दो हैं वो अकेला है. So if you are not powerful enough, you can say all these things. But if you are powerful enough, still don't retaliate. That is a devotee. So he can tolerate all the tribulation, just like Chitraketu Maharaj, just like Parikshit Maharaj himself. You know. So Parikshit Maharaj was powerful enough to retaliate the curse, to counteract the curse of Shringi, but he didn't do so. Chitraketu Maharaj, when he was cursed by Parvati, so he said, okay, this is all modes of nature working. Guna pravaha etasmin ka shapa ka anugraha का स्वर्ग नरक को वा, किम सुखम दुखम एव वा, बोलने में अच्छा लगता है. But when you are in that situation, you are cursed to become a demon, and you know the curse will act because Parvati is not an ordinary lady of this world. बोली तो होगा ही, but still he's okay, चलेगा. It's all modes of nature. So that is a Vaishnava. He tolerates everything, but he is never unkind to others, even to an enemy. These are the characteristics of one who is a pure devotee. So that is dharma. Then she speaks nyaya. Sarahasyo dhanurveda savisargopa samyamaha astagramascha bhavata sikshito yad anugrahat.
It was by Dronacharya's mercy.
The military art of throwing arrows and the confidential art of controlling methods.
So now she is speaking nyaya. It is by Dronacharya's mercy that you know all this, and you are using that same power and knowledge to kill his own son. This is not logic. This is not logical. This is not nyaya. So she is giving now nyaya. So Prabhupada tells that Dhanurveda was taught by Dronacharya, and Arjuna was a favorite disciple of Dronacharya. He taught everything to Arjuna. He didn't even tell Ashwatthama about this Brahmastra. But Ashwatthama, he was telling again and again, please tell me. So that's how Dronacharya had to tell Ashwatthama this Brahmastra knowledge, but he didn't tell complete knowledge. So he was just told how to release, but not retract. So Prabhupada writes, Arjuna was taught all this, therefore Draupadi wished that Arjuna feel obliged to Dronacharya for all these benefits. That was the opinion of Draupadi. It may be argued why Dronacharya should be teacher in military science. He was a Brahmana. Why he became martial teacher? Reply is that a Brahmana should become a teacher regardless of what department. Teacher banna hai, He should be teacher. Doesn't matter which department he is teacher of. He can be a teacher, a priest, a recipient of charity. Okay. Then she's speaking the third thing, sa karunam. She's saying now it is not so good. Please show compassion to his mother. Just like I am suffering, Kripi will also suffer. So now she's saying sa karunam. Sa esha bhagavan dronaha praja rupena vartate tasyatmano ardham patnyaste nanvagad virasus kripi.
Dronacharya is certainly still existing, being represented by his son. His wife Kripi did not undergo sati with him because she had a son.
So she didn't die because the son lives in his father. Then 46th verse, she is presenting another logic, another reasoning. Nirvyalikam, non-duplicitous. Translation, somebody?
Most fortunate one who knows the principles of religion it is not good for you to cause grief to closest family members who are always respectable and possible.
So she's saying it is not, it is duplicity. You are so very learned, but you are not respecting your, teachers. It is duplicity. Please don't do that. And then she's saying another thing about being equal, samam. Translation 47th.
My Lord, do not make the wife of Dronacharya very like me. I am aggrieved from the death of my sons. She need not cry constantly like me.
And then lastly, she says, I'm thinking of the entire society. Mahat. Translation.
If the kingly administrative order be unrestricted and self-controlled, offends the Brahmana order and enrages them, then the fire of that rage burns up the whole body of the royal family and brings grief upon them all.
So now she's saying this will create destruction in the society. If you insult Brahminical society, then entire human society will be destroyed. So Suta Goswami now summarizes all these 6 arguments of Draupadi in one verse. Dharmyam nyayam sakarunam nirvyalikam samam mahat raja dharmasto ragyah pratyanandad vachodvijah.
Suta Goswami said, "O Brahmanas, King Yudhishthira fully supported the statements of the queen, which in accordance with the principle of religion, and were justified, glorious, full of mercy and equity, and without duplicity." Hare Krishna.
So he's summarizing all these things, and hearing all these statements of Draupadi now, who all changes their decision? Nakula, Sahadeva, Satyaki, Arjuna, Krishna, Arjuna also changes. Everybody changes. Only one person, Bhima. So somebody can read the translation. 51st.
Bhima, however, disagreed with them and defended killing his culprit, who in an angry mood and murdered Jesus for no purpose, because the Lord is not present.
So just see, there are so many different opinions. One issue, different opinions. That's what happens when we sit in a meeting. Different people have different opinions. ये कुछ और ही बोल रहा है, कुछ और ही बोल रहा है, बोल रहा है मार दो, ये बोल रहा है छोड़ दो. So we should never disrespect anyone's opinion. We should always respect. Acknowledging others' opinions are very important. Even if we don't agree to it, you should acknowledge. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also. Rishibhir bahudha gitam chandobhir vividhai prithak. Brahma sutra padai chaiva hetum adbhir vinishchitai. So in this chapter, I think previous verse to this. So Krishna tells that there are people who tell something about Tyaga. What is Tyaga? 18.1 and 2. What's that? Somebody can tell me. So he tells about what is Tyaga, what is renunciation. And then he says, some people say like this, some people say like this, but now please hear my opinion. So Krishna acknowledges everyone's opinion. They are Manishinam. So he accepts others' opinions also. He acknowledges they are Manishi. So therefore, when we are dealing with different people, yes. What's that verse? Sannyasam kavevidu sarvakana faltyaga prahus tyagam vichakshana. What's the next verse? Tyajyam doshvadityeke karma prahu manishinaha. So we say some people say you should give up karma, some people say you should not give up karma. They are all manishina, karma prahur manishina. They are all manishi. He's not telling us a murk log. No, they're intelligent people. So if anybody is sitting in a meeting and giving some suggestions, some opinion, they are intelligent. So you should acknowledge. No. You should acknowledge everyone's opinion. So They should not fight because of difference of opinion. Difference of opinions will be there. No two people think in the same way. Differences will be there. We should acknowledge. अरे सोच तो रहा है at least. You know, some people they sit like this, बोलते रहो, meeting खत्म हो जाएगा तो बोल देना. If somebody is speaking, then he should acknowledge. At least he is giving his opinion. So everybody is giving his opinion, and Bhima he disagreed. So till now, Krishna is hearing all opinions. Just see, Krishna's intelligence is above all. He can tell, hey, मैं बताता हूँ क्या करना, शांत रहो. You know, he doesn't do like that. He is silently, patiently hearing all the opinions because it is the human nature that he wants to be heard. मेरी आवाज सुनो, you know, कोई सुन ही नहीं रहा है मेरे को, you know. That's how many of the devotees they say who are, you know, in a leadership role or a counselor. Just people coming and telling them, downloading. Our Radha Gopinath Prabhu is like very senior congregation leader in our temple. He says, you know, many times I do what I do, I just hear. बस 2 घंटा वो सामने वाला बोल रहा है. And after 2 hours, the प्रभु जी मेरा सब प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया. मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं आप सुन लिया. कोई सुनता ही नहीं है. You know, so just बोल के अभी सब बोल दिया मैंने, सब डाउनलोड कर दिया तो मन आधा शांत हो गया है. So that's how everybody has a desire to be heard. Even if you don't agree to whatever the person is saying, it's still here. सुन लो. For doctors, it is most important. You know, many times patients say, "Oh, doctor, सुना ही नहीं मेरा. मैं बैठा नहीं कि उसने पर्ची लिख के दे दिया." वो सुनना ही नहीं. You know, some doctors are very expert. They know वो कैसा चल क्या रहा है उससे बता देते हैं ये ऐसा प्रॉब्लम. मैंने सुना ही नहीं. So hearing, tat shrinu. Although we know everything, empathic listening is very, very important. So Krishna is hearing all these things. He is not giving any conclusions, you know, prematurely. That's how. So then, Nishamya Bhima Gaditam Draupadyacha Chaturbhujaha Alokya Vadanam Sakhyo
Alokyam Vadanam Sakhyo
Idam Maha Hasanniva.
Maha Hasanniva.
Translation.
Chaturbhuja, the four-armed one, or the personality of Godhead, after hearing the words of Bhima, Draupadi, and others, saw the face of his dear friend Arjuna, and he began to speak as if smiling.
As if smiling. भैया हंसी आ रही है लेकिन हंस नहीं रहे. You know, he's as if smiling. So in Bhagavad Gita also, you know, when Arjuna surrenders, as if smiling. What's that verse? 2.3 or 4 something it comes. Prahasanniva Bharata, you know, he's as if smiling. Why? Because अरे अभी तक तो अपना friend था, अभी devote disciple बन रहा है. As if smiling. He wanted to laugh because, you know, friends you can laugh. Hey, इतना भी नहीं. But when somebody is a disciple, somebody comes to you and will Prabhuji ये problem and you start laughing. So he loses all hope. You know, पहले ही मेरा problem चल रहा है. Prabhuji हंस रहे हैं मेरे पे. You know, so even if you want to laugh, you should not laugh. You know. Prahasanniva, smile. Why? Chakravarti Thakur writes, "Oh friend, today I will test the sharpness of your intelligence." That's why Krishna is smiling. And he develops Chaturbhuja. 2 arms is holding Arjuna, 2 Bhima, and 2 arms Draupadi. So Chakravarti Thakur Prabhupada writes in the purport. Sridhar Swami says that why he is designated as 4-armed. Both Bhima and Draupadi held opposite views. Bhima wanted him to be immediately killed, and Draupadi wanted to save him. So therefore, Krishna manifested 2 more hands to stop them from all this debate. Then Sri Bhagavan Krishna is saying, Brahma Bandhur Nahantavya Atatai Vadharhanaha Mayevo Bhayamam Natam
स्नातं
परिपाह्यनुशासनम्
परिपायानुशासनम्
Another slok is there, sir.
Brahmana is not to be killed.
Attached.
He must be killed. All the rulings are in the scriptures. You act accordingly. You have to fulfill your promise to your life. And you must also act for the satisfaction of the same man.
Yeah. So now Krishna is presenting everything. He's saying Brahmana should not be killed. Brahma Bandhur Nahantavya. But if he is Atatai, he should be killed. He's an aggressor. Manu has said this. Atatai should be killed. If somebody is coming with all these malicious intentions, Mayevobham amnatam, and you have to fulfill the promise. Okay, it is described in the scriptures also that if somebody is Atatai, he should be killed. Kuru prati shrutam satyam, and therefore you should understand and abide by all these scriptures, and also you have to fulfill your promise. You have only promised your wife that you will get the head of this person, and you have to satisfy Bhimasena also. Priyam cha Bhimasenasya. So we will recite the next verse. Kuru pratishrutam satyam
Kuru pratikshitam
yattat
satyam
santavetta priyam
yat santaveta priyam
priyam cha Bhimasenasya
priyam cha bhimasenasya
panchalya mahyameva cha.
panchalyamayyameva cha.
He says you have to fulfill the desires, promise you have made to your wife, and Bhimasena also, and Panchali also, so now and me also. Mahyameva cha. Sab kuch karna hai. You have to do everything. You should not kill because Brahmana should not be killed. So Chakravarti Thakur writes, Ashwatthama is still considered a Brahmana, and since he is not an aggressor, since he does not have weapon in his hands, now he is not having weapons in his hands. How can you kill him? That is my opinion. And I told you previously to kill the fallen Brahmana, but that was just to test you. Therefore, do not kill the fallen Brahmana. Free him. Now Krishna is telling, free him. But then Manu has also said, aggressor should be killed. So follow both these instructions of the scriptures as ordered by me. I am the maker of the scriptures. So both these instructions are given in the scriptures. You follow both of them. And also you have made promise to Draupadi. You have to follow that also. You have to please Krishna, Bhima also. Everything you have to do. Then 55th is a very, very interesting verse. How one can take decisions in midst of all the difficult situations, and what impels a person to take right decisions in conflicting circumstances. Suta uvacha Arjuna sasagyaya Harer hardam mathasina Manijahara murdhanyam Dvijasya saha murdhajam.
Just then Arjuna could understand the motive of the Lord by view of the Lord, and thus sword he severed both hair and jewel from the head
And
of
thus
Ashwatthama.
with his sword he severed both hair and jewel from the head of Ashwatthama.
So anybody can tell me the word which is used here regarding Arjuna? How he could come to the right conclusion in this verse? Anybody could find? Harer hardam. He could understand the motives of the Lord. So that's why he could understand. Arjuna sahasa agyaya. Therefore he could understand because he knew the heart of Krishna. Therefore with his sword athasina, he severed the hair and the jewel. So one should be well versed with the intentions of the Lord so that he can follow the contradictory orders of the Lord. So how to be well versed in the intentions of the Lord? One should be well versed in the Shastras. Shastras are the words of Lord. So the more we sharpen our intelligence with this scriptures, the more we will be able to take right decisions in difficult situations. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also. Knowledge is like a sword. Chitvainam samshayam yogam atishtottishta bharata. How does it start? Vritstam gyan asina. The sword of knowledge. Oh Arjuna, please take this sword of knowledge and destroy this doubt which has arisen in your heart. So Arjuna was well versed in the scriptures because he had heard from Krishna also Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, he could take right decisions. In this way, he pacified both Draupadi and Bhima. Somebody can read the purport.
Contradictory orders of different persons are impossible to carry out. Therefore, a compromise was selected by Arjuna by his sharp intelligence, and he separated the jewel from the head of Ashwatthama. This was as good as cutting off his head, and yet his life was saved for all practical purposes. Here, Ashwatthama is indicated as twice born. Certainly, he was twice born, but he fell down from his position, and therefore he was properly punished.
So when somebody knows the scriptures, he can use the scriptures in a proper way. There is a story in Mahabharata. One time, Krishna, Arjuna and Karna was fighting, Karna was fighting with Yudhishthir Maharaj, and Yudhishthir was injured very badly. So the chariot driver of Yudhishthir Maharaj, he took him out of the war, and he was just recuperating. Arjuna came to know that Yudhishthir is missing. So he left the battle and he came searching for Yudhishthir. So when he reached that place, Yudhishthir became very happy. Oh, Arjuna, you have killed Karna. Oh, it is so nice. So Arjuna said, no, I have not killed. I was just worried. I didn't see you. So Yudhishthir became so angry. He said, how can you do this? You are not even a good warrior. What is the use of your Gandiva? Give up your Gandiva. Arjuna had taken a vow. Jo bhi bolega, give up your Gandiva. I'll kill him. So then Arjuna took out his sword, ready to kill Yudhishthir Maharaj. Then Krishna came and said, okay, you want to kill? Speak all, insult Yudhishthir Maharaj. Akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishyanti tevayam. For a Kshatriya, dishonor is worse than death. And Arjuna started saying, oh, because of you, we had to go to forest for 13 years. Why did you gamble? So many bad things. And then after that, Arjuna was thinking, what is the use of all this? I have insulted, I will now commit suicide. So then Krishna said, okay, you want to commit suicide? Okay, glorify yourself. Self-glorification is worse than committing suicide. So therefore, Krishna knew how to, use scriptures in a right sense. So Krishna gives intelligence to devotees if we, spend time reading scriptures and we serve the devotees. Then the right intelligence, that is wisdom. Otherwise, knowledge will stay here only. It will not transform the heart. That's what Vidura tells Maitreya. Oh Maitreya, whatever knowledge you have taught me, that will become realization by serving you. Artha bhavam vinishchitya praditasyapi natmanah yachapi ushmacharana sevayaham paranudi. By serving devotees, this knowledge becomes realization. So that's how Arjuna could satisfy all these personalities. So Ashwatthama, he had already lost his bodily luster. So having lost his jewel, his strength, he lost his strength even more. He was unbound and driven out. Last verse, few words translations.
He, Ashwatthama, had already lost his bodily luster, and now, moreover, having lost the jewel from his head, he lost even more strength. Thus he was unbound and driven out of the camp.
Next verse.
Cutting the hair from his head, depriving him of his wealth, and driving him from his residence are the prescribed punishments for the relative of the Brahman. There is no injunction for killing the body.
Next.
Thereafter, the sons of Canto, overwhelmed with grief, performed the proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives.
Okay, that's how the 7th chapter ends. So the 8th chapter we should begin. 20 minutes are remaining. Chutti.
Will you take break?
Next time, Prabhu. Next time.
Next time. Okay. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavata pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Grantha Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Dandavata pranam. So next exam will not be
next
week.
Next Sunday, I'll take online class. I'm not able to come here. So online hoga next week, next Sunday. And next to next, there will be a test on 6th chapter.
6th chapter. Kindly verses and the translation.
I'll send.
Share. And also audio regarding that verses, 3 verses. It was very nice that the 10th, 11th, and 19th.
Okay,
several times I have heard. Very nicely it has been. Audio was very
I'll
nice.
send the audio. I'll send the recording.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavata pranam.